Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Gone are the days of wrestling with our favorite LJN wrestling figures, trying to convince them to stand up. What's a guy to do? I'll tell you what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get on Etsy and look up 4 Left 3D Creations and get yourself these amazing custom LJN figure stands. There is a custom stand available for every single one of your LJN Wrestling Superstar figures. Make your display shine by grabbing these custom LJN stands from 4 Left 3D Creations today.
Hello, everybody. Jason of New Year's Revolution Cave for a beautiful Tuesday. Yes, don't mind. Just some soup. A Tuesday, day after Christmas. Day after Christmas. And the agenda, the program lineup says LJN Revisited was yesterday, but we had to do the Christmas haul video. So LJN Revisited is today. And so is meatball soup. Yeah, you're fine. Just watch. Don't worry about it. LJN Revisited, where we take a closer look at the greatest action figure toy line of all time, one figure at a time. And we're up to this phenomenon, this incredible thing. I just can't get enough of the soup. How unprofessional of me. There's one more meatball left, but it'll take, I gotta chew it. We haven't eaten together in a while. The figure that we're going to talk about, again, an LJN phenomenon. 3 different figures for this fella. 3. And 3 kind of unexplainable figures. Very strange. Very strange what LJN did here. I don't know why. But we've got Corporal Kirchner, of course. Corporal Kirchner. And what would Corporal Kirchner be without a way to display him on your LJN shelf? He would be nothing, as would all the LJNs. They would be nothing without their custom LJN stand from 4 Left 3D Creations on Etsy. That's right. This one is special. This Corporal Kirchner stand has Corporal Kirchner's dog tag on it and his personal information, his name, his birth date, and sadly, his death date. Corporal Kirchner, Michael Penzel, 9/7/57 to, sadly, 12/22/21. So we just passed the 2-year anniversary of Corporal Kirchner's death. Why am I showing this off? Well, a while back, I was honored to have a comment left on the show where I did the 3 faces of Kirchner. Corporal Kirchner's son left a comment. We chatted back and forth a little bit, and I asked him if he would like one of these stands with all of his dad's cool information sent to him. He said, of course, and I believe that 4 Left 3D Creations gave Corporal Kirchner's son a collectible stand for his figure. Anyway, Corporal Kirchner, why do I say that this is such a crazy story? Well, because Corporal Kirchner has 3 figures. 3 figures. No, it's not short-haired Andre versus long-haired Andre versus blackstrap Andre, which were gimmick changes, right? Or substantial look changes. No, Corporal Kirchner has 3 figures from the same line, 3 variants. We have bearded Kirchner here. There is clean-faced Kirchner. We'll show you those later. And then there is actually stubble that is not colored in, but you can see some stubble markings on the face. And I have all 3 because I'm insane, right? And those I think are true variants. I do. I don't like the Greg Valentine with belly button versus no belly button. I don't like Jesse Ventura's 15 different hairs. I like these variants, though. They're cool. Corporal Kirchner, he came at what, 86 or so, late 86. Loved the vignettes, the early vignettes of Kirchner coming in, swimming in a swamp, holding a knife in his hand. He was, the 82nd Airborne. A lot of people, and look, are we ever really going to know? A lot of people are going to say Corporal Kirchner absolutely was a Sergeant Slaughter replacement. Look, Slaughter left in very early 85. Okay, maybe even late 84. Kirchner doesn't show up until 86 or so. Come on. Unless Vince McMahon himself says, yeah, pal. Kirchner was definitely when I said Kirchner, you're coming in, I had in mind Sergeant Slaughter. We're gonna make a Sergeant Slaughter replacement and fool all the fans. That's right. That's what we're gonna do. If Vince McMahon doesn't say it, I don't care what anybody says. We can't say that Corporal Kirchner was a Sergeant Slaughter. Maybe we saw him as a Sergeant Slaughter replacement. But was that the idea? Because it would not be unusual in 86 to bring in an American hero to fend off, the mean, nasty Russians, the mean, nasty Iranians who are in the WWF. It's classic wrestling, equation. It's easy, right? You bring in the American guy to fight off the bad guys. And at the time, they didn't have Sergeant Slaughter, and they didn't really have a USA kind of guy. Was he a replacement for Slaughter? No, but you need the idea. You got to have the idea. If Iron Sheik goes down, they're going to bring in whoever else. If Nikolai Volkov's not there, they're going to bring in somebody else to play the foreigner bad guy role. And to match that, you need the American face. So, Slaughter. Kirchner. Slaughter. Of course I was a fan of Kirchner. How could you not be when you're a kid and you're watching these vignettes and you're getting excited about stuff? I used to love the WWF vignettes. They were great. They would hype a guy for weeks. Kirchner, Outback Jack, all these guys would, coming soon to the WWF. Kirchner gets in, he does his job. He's at WrestleMania 2. He's got an immediate feud with Nikolai Volkov, with the Iron Sheik. And then for whatever reason, he drops down the card a little bit and kind of fades out. Most of us know that prior to Corporal Kirchner, he wrestled as a job guy, an enhancement worker, R.D. Reynolds. And R.D. Reynolds has a very interesting look. He's got the long hair. He's got the handlebar mustache. And nothing about R.D. Reynolds says this guy's going to be, a bigger name. Nothing about R.D. Reynolds says that this guy's going to be an LJN figure. But cuts the hair, changes the look, and we've got Corporal Kirchner. And it was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, never met the good Corporal, but I do have all three of his LJN figures. And let me tell you, I played with this guy like crazy as a kid. Corporal Kirchner got so much play. Why? Because he was part of a three-man team, a six-man tag team, created from only the depths of my brain, the bowels of my imagination. Corporal Kirchner, S.D. Jones, and Don Morocco all got identity changes and became a very formidable six-man tag team. They were multi-time tag team champions, and I used the Freebird rule in my federation, which meant that any two of the three could defend the tag team titles at any time. S.D. Jones was, of course, Brickhouse Brown. Don Morocco turned into Mike Rotunda. And Corporal Kirchner, I gave him the drastic name change of Corporal Mike Kirchner. There we go. And it elevated those three to semi-main event status. Played with this guy a lot. Loved him. Great figure. This is the bearded variant. And I'll show you the other variants right about now. But good figure, lots of play. Honored to have spoken to his son a few times. And Corporal Kirchner is the only figure that has this crazy variant. Yeah, we got three Andres. We kind of got three Hogans. Not the same. Three Corporal Kirchners. Mind-blowing. Love it. Corporal Kirchner, let's take a closer look. All right, before we take a look at the figures, once again, hop on the Etsy and get yourselves over to 4 Left 3D Creations so you can display your LJN figures the best possible way they can be displayed with these custom LJN figure stands. Once again, from 4 Left 3D Creations on Etsy. Here we go, the 3 faces of Kirchner. Here is bearded Kirchner. He's got the beret. He's got the beard, which we don't really ever see in the WWF for any longer than a match or two. We've got the dog tags. We've got the camouflage outfit, the cargo pants tucked into the boots. Love that. It's a good look. Got the belt. And we've got a great play post. Therefore, we have a very played with, enjoyable figure. Kirchner, let's take a closer look at Kirchner. This one is Kirchner stubble. Now, you can look and see, if the camera's picking it up, stubble. Unpainted stubble right there. God, I can't focus that in. There you go. There's a much better look at it. See how the stubble catches the light? Such a slight variant, but a legit variant. An unpainted Kirchner stubble variant. Oh yeah, there's a much better look at it. You can clearly see the stubble. This is Kirchner unstubble. Total baby face, no stubble whatsoever. And clearly you can see the difference. Now, the bearded figure, obviously this could be easily customized, but I know this is at least a stubbled Kirchner, all right? Because you can see the lines in the beard. That is at least a stubbled Kirchner. If somebody painted the beard on, I will never know. It looks pretty identical to the hair color. I would be willing to say that this is not a custom, but it is at least a stubble Kirchner with painted beard. The back side is pretty much the same. Good detail. I like the pants. I like the pants tucked into the boot. I like the dog tag. I like the beret. I think it's a great figure. Now as I'm noticing, we've got 2 different color berets here too. We have the a lighter maroon than that, and I don't even know. Yeah, I guess those 2 are the same. So it looks like my bearded one anyway, has a darker beret. That doesn't matter to me at all. Honestly, that's just LJN with a slightly different paint. You know, like I've said before, they ran out of paint. They sent little Jimmy to Home Depot, and he came back with a slightly different shade, and they just went with it. That's all that is. But there you go. There are the 3 faces of Kirchner. Well-used figures, well-loved. Great character. Certainly wish he had a little bit more time in the WWF. Would have liked to have seen a bad guy run maybe from Kirchner, kind of like Sergeant Slaughter did when he came back. That would have been all right. Slightly better athlete than Sergeant Slaughter. But there you have it. Corporal Kirchner, or as I used him in my federation, the very creative Corporal Mike Kirchner. Good night now.